Hey, what is up, guys? I'm back with another YouTube video, and this one's a little different. I'm actually going to be talking about The Boys finale, the series finale. I've been watching it for maybe 5 or 7 years. I don't remember when. I think it came out 2019. I read the comics a while back, and I'm not going to make this a negative video because a lot of the videos talking about The Boys season 5 finale has just been it's dog crap and all this stuff like that. And I'm gonna give my opinions on the writing aspect of it, and my thoughts and opinions on Eric Kripke, and then I'm gonna go over just the finale episode since everyone's watched it at this point. I think almost everyone, but the writing could have been so much better. Honestly speaking, Vought Rising should not have been promoted as much. I don't know what it is. Like, I like Jensen Ackles. I've kept up with him since I seen him as Red Hood in the other Red Hood movie, but I've never watched Supernatural, so the whole Sam and Dean thing and Misha and all that stuff like that, and the promoting the Vought Rising and all that stuff like that. Soldier Boy was cool. Should have died in season 3, in my opinion. I don't think Soldier Boy, not season 3. Well, yeah, season 3. This whole long drawn out just thing of Soldier Boy flip-flopping and yada 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 was very, very annoying. Like, it just made me dislike Soldier Boy. Every time, every second, it was another thing of how he felt towards Homelander. Homelander and Butcher, for the most part, were the most consistent characters. Everybody else, this is whatever, Frenchie send off his, in the, so this is a spoiler, by the way, too. Well, not a spoiler, but, his eulogy was very poorly written. Eric Kripke's obsessions with dicks and buttholes and stuff like that is really, really dumb. Like, the humor is the humor of, like, a 12-year-old finding out their first swear word. That's literally all this whole season's, humor has been. Male privates, buttholes. It's just stupid. It's so dumb. And for that to basically trickle throughout maybe 2 seasons, season 4 and 5, is so bad. They built up the Gen V characters, only to completely say, oh, yeah, she's not actually as strong as Homelander. A leak came out talking about some of the things did happen in the leak. The leak talking about, spoiler part for anyone who hasn't watched it, leaks talking about the Deep dying, Father dying, Homelander obviously dying, Butcher living, and then so on and so forth. The Deep's character was probably just one of the best. I think Chase Crawford did a very good, very good interpretation of not the typical, but the online interpretation of a gym bro, because most gym bros don't act like that, but there are guys like that. He's like the Andrew Tate, basically, type guy. I think the way they portrayed him and his death is it's very karma / ironic. I'm not going to explain how it happened and whatnot, because, you could watch it to show, and I don't think I really want to describe how he died. But it was very ironic, and karma and all that stuff, and everything, because it's just very, hey, full circle. Father's character was interesting but weird. His death felt very, instantaneous, and then just out of nowhere, because it was right after, before the Deep, and Father was built up. Even in the comics, Father was very by Homelander's side and kind of being built up. Father's death in the comic, he was killed by a missile, but in this, it's just, hey, his head pops from his own power and by a ball gag, which is, I don't know, boys' humor, I don't know, that one was pretty funny. I think the ball gag thing was funny but weird, and then on top of that, too, like I said, his death was just out of nowhere. Which those 2 deaths, I mean, the Deeps felt very full circle, while Father, who was present a lot in season 5, I feel like there's still much that could have happened, maybe extra 5 minutes, and then he could have died, but it's whatever. The actor did really good, I think. I think the things that made me like kind of dislike it is that what was said in the leaks of season 5 episode 8 compared to what we got, like, 3 things were correct. One of those things was a given regardless of, regardless, but a bunch of other things was just not there. I don't know, Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar company. Eric Kripke saying, "Oh, we don't have the budget." Where did the budget go to? If like the last episode was the episode with all the budget. Like, you got Annie versus the Deep. I could kind of see it. You got Oh Father, kind of, and the hallway scene, which really wasn't much going on. They were just getting shot at. And then Homelander versus Butcher. I'm going to talk about that in a second, because there's some things about that I do like and don't like. But Gen V characters just showing up, getting told to fuck off, show up again, and they get told to fuck off again is like so stupid, and I feel so bad for them. I didn't watch Gen V, but I was very interested into seeing this character and stuff like that, only for them to just completely do nothing with them. And I did see something about her apparently being a Project Odessa level soup, just like Homelander, just for them to be like, oh yeah, she's not that. It's trash. It was very trash. But I do think the things that I did like was the final fight. While there are some things that I do want to talk about the final fight, I think Butcher versus Homelander was good. However, V1 should never have been a thing in this series. Yes, but no. One, it showed us that he's supposed to be stronger than what he is. Homelander's supposed to be stronger than what he is now that he has the V1. Only for the V1 to just really make him stop aging. Now, I get it. I actually probably get if all the V1 did was to just make him immortal and that's it. There was no other side effects to his power. But it was so hyped up all this season. Gets it last episode, like episode 7. And then here it is, we're being told now that a Butcher, who was kind of struggling with Bomb Sight, was doing very good against Soldier Boy, which Soldier Boy is a very, very inconsistent character in my opinion. Like, oh, he's the strongest Homelander, but he could lose to Homelander. And then you got Bomb Sight, who's actually putting hands on him. So it's like, what's going on? I feel like Bomb Sight definitely could have beaten, what's his name? Because I feel like Soldier Boy is just powered up by that nuclear thing. And if he doesn't have that, I feel like Bomb Sight would fuck him up. Which is an interesting thing that I do want to get into, right? If they have V1, does characters like Black Noir, Crimson Countess, and all them stuff like that, did they have V1 or no? I doubt Gunpowder and them did. And maybe Black Noir. I think all they said was only a few people passed with the whole V1 stuff, so we'll find out. I do really want to know more about Black Noir 1, especially if they're doing the whole Vought Rising thing. The only thing is, I don't think I'm going to watch it, so that's why. Because it's just the series finale, which I'll give my full opinion on. But back to the whole Butcher and Homelander thing. I think Butcher and Homelander really do carry this whole series. Jensen Ackles came in as Soldier Boy, which he did do, and that's where like Butcher kind of fell behind. But this last episode made me like Butcher a lot more, and I've already liked Butcher a little bit, even though he's very disgusting. In the comics, he's very disgusting, but in the show, you can kind of sympathize with him. I just don't like with the whole, you can sympathize with him. It's just like what he does is very like, I didn't like the whole idea of him cheating on Becca though in the show, because he would never do that. Like, comic Butcher and show Butcher would never do that towards Becca. But it was a very good fight. I just think the power balance between the two is very inconsistent. And then you have Ryan, who came in, he saw what was going on, so he jumped in and he was helping, who Kimiko was just kind of there, just standing there until like she had a spirit ghost of Frenchie show up, and then Frenchie gave her that unironically beat her with the power of love and friendship, and then afterward, so yeah, they just unironically beat him with the power of friendship. Sorry for the cuts, by the way. And that part was very weird and annoying, and it did suck that Mary wasn't there, because in one of the leak it did say Mary, Butcher, who and then would show up. Of course, Butcher would be there, but like Mary, Ryan, Kimiko, and then I think that was it. And then it was like some soups came in, but then Ryan kills the soups, but that didn't happen. We just kind of had the four, and I guess Kimiko lost her powers too. It's very weird how that explosion worked, because it's like if she lost her powers and he lost her powers and Ryan lost his powers too. Why Soldier Boy never lost his powers when doing the explosions? Especially all the time Soldier Boy has done the explosion move, like never lost his powers, but Kimiko did. I think that's kind of weird. And it's not like they're really gonna explain it, because the series is over now. And yeah, I guess whatever. But that last bit, that acting between both Carl Urban and Anthony Starr. Anthony Starr, I really hope doesn't get typecasted, because he's so good. I think he did so well as Homelander, and like watching him grovel and cry and just like be so like showing that, hey, this is what Homelander is and stuff like that. Like, this is he's weak and pathetic. I just felt like the smallest bit of pity, but I was like, I do remember, like, you just remember everything he's done. Yeah, it's just, that's it. It's Butcher too. It's a Butcher. He's not gonna give a shit. So I think it was a very good last bit. Anthony Starr did amazing. Carl Urban did amazing. There was a part where freaking Homelander says something so outlandish that Butcher's just like, the fuck, in the middle of the whole and the last bit. But I don't like that part so much, simply because of the added in, like, again with the dick and the poop jokes and like stuff like that. Like, it's just not needed. It was very weird, and I feel like Butcher's expression when he said that to him very much emphasized with a lot of like viewers, because it's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But the last part, of course, the climax, Tara dies from like old age, which I was kind of hoping it would have been something where he had been killed by Butcher to really set Butcher off, but that wasn't the case. He died of old age, and then Butcher for some reason was just like, okay, I'm gonna go kill every soup now. And I understand that, they were going with the whole bit from the comic where Butcher goes and kills everyone. Thankfully, they cut out the part where he kills the boys, but it was mainly the part where he kills some of the soups. And the confrontation between him and Huey, apologies again, but the final confrontation between Butcher and Huey, I felt was very okay. I feel like it was okay, but it did make me a little sad, because I don't know, I didn't want to see Butcher die, even though I kind of knew he had to go. I think it was just because it was Carl Urban, and I really liked his like portrayal of Butcher and what he did and stuff like that, and just the accent is just so ridiculous. But that part where it's like he sees his brother inside of like the entire time, just seeing his brother within Huey and stuff like that, and the fight was pretty good. Of course, it wasn't gonna be as dramatic as the comic book one, since they're not like, they don't have V in their system like they do in the comics. But I think it was a very nice thing, like okay send off to Butcher, like between him and Huey. And then that last part, I don't know, man, Butcher's character is just very sad. It's a very sad character, but very cool, you know what I mean? At least show Butcher, I feel that way. Very flip-floppy between season 3, kind of like Soldier Boy, but at least he wasn't like how Soldier Boy was with Homelander. That's the one thing that I was, what about? Which I think people don't understand, that is because he was going to kill Ryan too. The Soldier Boy was going to kill Ryan too, which is why he switched up. But even then, shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I think as the whole with the season series, I'd have to give it to season 1 and season 3 as like the best ones. 5 would probably be third, and then 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, or 1, 3, 2, 5, 4 is how I'd rank the seasons of all the boys. It was very it was very, I don't know, it was very tough now kind of see like, okay, we're not going to see the boys anymore, we're not going to see Butcher anymore. I did go see the Mortal Kombat movie, and you know, Carl Urban did very good in it. I'm just hoping that Anthony Starr, whatever he does next, he just does so good, like how he did with Homelander. I'm gonna miss the characters of the boys. I'm not gonna lie. It was very funny seeing like the Butcher memes and the Homelander memes, but hey, you know, it is what it is now. The series ended. If I had to really give my final thoughts, at least for season 5, I would say like maybe a 3 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5. It wasn't the best. Honestly, Soldier Boy ruined the boys in my opinion. I'm just gonna say that now. I think he very much ruined it. If he had died in season 3, would have been fine with that. But yeah, I think that was my thoughts on season 5 as a series as a whole. While it had some ups, season 1 being the best, season 3 being good, season 5 it was okay, but it was just big promotion for Vought Rising, which they shouldn't have done that, and I hate that Kripke did that, and I don't want him to write another series again. But I think that's just my thoughts on it. The series as a whole, though, my rating for it, I would probably give it. I don't think it's a bad show. I think I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, maybe. It's a cool 7, maybe like a 7.5. It's really not the worst thing out there at all, compared to shows like Stranger Things and Game of Thrones and Dexter. It could have been better, but I feel like all the characters got a good send off. I'm happy for Mother's Milk. I'm happy for Huey and Starlight. I'm sad for Kimiko. Sage got a happy ending, which was not surprising. Ashley got impeached, which I feel like Annie should have fucking socked Ashley in the face because of what she did to Huey in season like 4 or 3. Which I feel like people glance over that stuff too. But yeah, that was the boys. Definitely gonna miss Butcher. I'm definitely gonna miss the Deep. I really liked MM. I think I'm gonna miss those 3 characters a lot because they were really cool. Soldier Boy was whatever, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is my review on the boys. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, I'd be very open to doing it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.